I give the call to the member for Braddon.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. In the little bit over 2 years since I've been elected to this place, I've seen a lot of change. And put the COVID-19 pandemic change aside, the change that we've seen in our international geopolitical situation has also changed. We've seen a focus from supporting allied operations to, along with the Defence 2020 strategic update, we've seen that epicentre become the centre of the Indo-Pacific region. We've seen a $270 billion spend, the largest since the Second World War, on maintaining a defensive posture in that centre of the Indo-Pacific region. But at the centre of that huge record spend are people. Those brave men and women that raise their hand in defence of our nation. They literally do. They go to a recruiting office, they raise their right hand and they swear by oath or affirmation that they will defend Australia, its people, its government, its Queen, her heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. And once they make that commitment, then they give their life, the prime of their life, to defending our nation. We as a nation need to stand by them, and we need to make a commitment to them because their situation has also changed. And it's that change, Minister, that I'd like to speak about this evening. We've seen over the last 2 years the number of claims, the volume has more than doubled from around 50,000 in 2017-18 to more than 121,000 in 1920. Over this time, the government has continually supplemented DVA's resourcing to address the increased workload, providing more than $54 million over 2 years of increased staffing. Building on this investment, the 2021-22 budget includes an additional $98.5 million to provide DVA with a significant increase in staffing to address the backlog of claims and manage the increased workload. This funding will see an increase of more than 440 positions, with a significant proportion being allocated to claims processing. And this is important. We need to get onto their claims and expedite them. We need to help them make that transition from the big family that they have as a military and that loyal commitment that they made to our defence of our nation. We need to stand by them once they exit defence. This spend that I talk about is the largest single increase in DVA resourcing in decades. It reinforces what this government continually invests in, and that is veterans support and putting veterans and, more importantly, veterans and their families first. And this is important. I also want to talk about some of the additional things that the additional considerations that we've made as a government. The fact that we've helped veterans transition and translate their skills, their knowledge, their qualifications that they earned in the military and translate those into the civilian world, making their transition from the defence family into the civilian population easier. We've also invested money in trying to help families along the way, because families play an important part of that transition as that veteran makes that important leap from the big military to the big civilian world. Minister, this evening, can you please advise how many additional resources were funded as part of that $98.5 million for the Department of Veterans Affairs, and will these additional resources directly assist with the current backlog of claims? I want to know, I think Australia needs to know, is this money going to trickle down and be spent at the coalface where it's really needed? Is it going to reduce claims, claim times? Is it going to help veterans? Is it going to help their families? And are we going to do the right thing as a government? And are we going to do the right thing as a nation?
Well said,